It's okay for me. I get to move more trains.
So K-Teller doesn't doesn't mind being held up for 2 or more hours. He's used to it.
He's the king of standing by.
Well, suits me at the moment.
User joined your channel.
I wish everyone was so complicit.
Close this one, close that.
User left your channel. User was moved out of your channel.
That figures.
User joined your channel.
That train
User
did
was
get
moved to your channel.
Yes, it did.
Hello.
User entered your channel.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh. I'm in the BNS 7180. I'm on the main 3. Yeah. Wait a second. Here we are in Barstow, I know that.
I see you. You just take your signal there. Signal indication east over.
Yeah, it's diverging clear.
Alright, so once that train clears up, I think we'll start humping ourselves. Set of trains. Actually, well, AI trains the other direction.
Brad, you're continuously transmitting.
What do you mean?
Your
Hot
mic's
mic.
User joined your channel.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I can how do I go to what do you call
You want to push the top.
yeah, how do I go to push talk? I'm used to distance, so
Go to tools. All the way down to options.
option.
And click on the capture tab.
It's loading. Alrighty. Can you say go to capture?
Correct.
Capture mode.
So it says activation. You'll see a little box that says to talk.
Yup.
Yep, it's lined up, so go anywhere. Okay, that's fine.
I have no idea. I use a real driver.
You have a center mouse button?
Alright, how's that?
UP dispatcher S254 answering BK Tower.
This is UP 1387 reporting all hand roads between Sandcut and McGundon are now lined along normal for a main. We're clear of all main tracks and we'll be tying up in the siding here for the night.
Alright, UP 1387, Sandcut to McGundon into switches locked normal and equipment clear. That is 4:33 p.m. TKA.
433 TKA. Get out of
BNSF 755.
Very good. And
approach.
woo 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 woo.
Woo, woo. Sorry, I hear you there.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa whoa, back it up. Beep beep beep.
That's a mare.
Never
Yes,
mind.
UP 1387, good read back. 433 TKI over.
Just double check all these
433
switches.
TKA.
Very good. Are you leaving us?
Yeah, I'm off the night now.
Roger. You get the gold star for radio telephony today. Thank you very much for that.
And I'll make sure to ask for even more hand throws next week.
We have pull from host.
Very good.
And
A nice,
User
nice
exited
RT.
your channel.
No problem.
See you later.
Hey Jack,
put
what's
that.
up?
User disconnected from your channel.
It's weird
And
seeing
at 7716, call in, just 254 over.
7716. Yeah, signal's coming up there, Bean. I'm having issues with TS Cat here.
Thank you for the signal. 7716.
Yeah, hey, hey. Woo, woo, woo. I had to check why. We got dropped frames, and I don't know how bad it's on your guys'. I should be able to see, actually. I wonder if I could be able to look at that. Loading, loading, loading.
Okay, so I will let you guys know. I know we're doing session and stuff. I do know how to read track warrants and signals. I learned that in roleplay group, and I actually have an Norfolk Southern track warrant book. So if y'all ever need copies or anything, let me know. I can send them to you. I mean, I know the format would be different, but it's just if something. If you guys needed it, I have them.
We've got BN and UP warrant.
Oh, nice.
And at 7716, A approach medium, CP vein out.
I'm going off in 10 minutes.
Oh, well, I bet it's late over there, isn't it?
Well, I said I was going off an hour ago. Too much fun.
Right?
And I don't know, TS Cat I think is getting tired.
We're
It's hard
seeing
to
what's the
tell.
last
He gets
goal
tired,
for.
you're getting tired.
No,
I
TS
don't.
Cat's getting tired. It's dropping blocks all over the place.
Oh, there it is.
It's a bit hard to know what's a train and what's
It's
not.
still waited out.
Is there a lot of
Oops.
like, let's see, what am I trying to say here?
Does not watch what I'm doing again?
Is there a lot of good party content like for the game, or?
No, there is no third-party content at all.
But thank you to this for letting me join your server.
Sure, glad to have you.
Well, I've spent years trying to find a multiplayer train simulator that wasn't trains.
That made no sense. Wasn't
Oh, you
trained.
mean trans?
Yeah, like Trains a New Era. The only reason I even have Trains a New Era is because of KNL trains and their steam locomotives.
Trans is actually basically crap.
UP desk 254 to BNSF 7656 north.
Oh, just more switching. Moving our power on. And it's a party of one. It was a party of two before, but now it's a party of one.
UP desk 254 to BNSF 7656 north over.
And we don't have have it inbounds for a while either, so.
Am I okay to run a Metrolink out of LAUPT?
Let's try doing this. Let's change it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Tyler,
Evan,
being summoned.
on what?
On here. Dispatcher's calling.
TeamSpeak?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 times.
I didn't hear you once.
I think I'm okay.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't even hear you.
Happens when your headset muted.
My headset wasn't muted.
I did that earlier.
Yeah, I did have a window for you earlier, Tyler, but I don't know, it's just not happening, bud.
That's fine. I'll still be here.
Yeah, I was gonna try and get you down a cliff, but yeah, I only had about a 2 or 3 minute window to do it because it's a Z train coming through Caliente. Well, he's through Caliente. So.
Oh, you're all good. Don't worry about it.
I mean, if you really wanted to be mean, you could just give him. You can have him hop one more siding to Rowan.
Yeah, I guess I'm developing my own dispatching style, I suppose.
Alright, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Just enough to heat them brakes up.
UP-254 answering Mojave radio.
Yeah, CSXT 54 Fitix South. We're still waiting for the. Oh, never mind. Thank you. CSXT 5460.
And at 7716, all red, all stop, North Ilmenau.
Who is that?
NS 7716 over.
This guy again.
No, this is just a TSCAD is not a finished product. I'm gonna have to write to them about it because it says that there's a train between North and South Ilmon on the main track. It thinks that there's a route still trying to clear between South Ilmon and North Caliente. It thinks that there's a train south of South Marcel when there isn't. So all of the signal fleets and stack commands aren't working because the bloody program thinks that there's trains there when there isn't.
I'll just re-pull it and do it again.
BNSS 7554 all stopped here at Lugo.
Evan.
Yes,
Signal coming up.
Roger, here we go, approach. And upgraded to.
Ted, you are taking the train now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let me work out a window.
Oh, it's all good. Don't rush anything.
I appreciate your patience, but I'm also cognizant of the fact that in the space of an hour you've moved about 6 miles.
You're doing a good job. You know what BNSF, Tom? You know what BNSF stands for, right? Been nowhere except forever.
Or better not start a family.
That's.
My dispatcher don't call me and stop me for 4 hours only to tell me that I'm out of service. I'm all right.
Metrolink 606 to the desk 15 over.
We don't have anyone dispatching except for Bakersfield to Needles.
Oh.
Sorry about that. If you want to pay for me to have the territory, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, we'll send your PayPal.
Yeah, what's your pay? What's your pay?
This is great.
We could open up an NOC center overseas. The BNSF, the BNSF UK NOC.
BNSF, what is it? BNSF Dispatch Desk 113, London, over. Right, okay. So, Tyler, let's see. I am working on a plan, but you're definitely staying on the train, right?
Well, now I'm thinking about dispatching Cohen and San Bernardino.
Venus of 9180 has a clear signal main to west. Get out.
I can't make up my mind, man.
Am I allowed
Clear signals, we don't really like to call them out. Unless...
We don't call 6 on the West Coast. Most of the West Coast.
A staff member on who can go to the host computer.
What was up?
Yeah. Can you have a look at Barstow? Receiving yard track 5. It's empty, but the dispatch screen shows there's a train there.
Yeah, I can do that. Let me... Alright, Tom, I'm gonna AI this. I'm gonna go dispatch some subdivisions.
I think by the time you're finished, the train will still be there. I can't get a window at all.
Yeah, and then the other problem is I'm long for any of these sightings.
Exactly. Someone who understands.
Conductor's gonna have a sore arm and gets done tying that one down.
Okay. Thanks for that. I see the train there, so you sort of reappeared again. Oh well.
Alright, I'm gonna go set up TSCAT, I guess.
You guys are getting long track. I think I'm getting tired.
UP Desk 254 to NS 7716 south over.
7716, answering over.
Okay, special instruction. You're fleeted all the way up behind the Z9 ahead. Sorry, Z6 ahead. So if you see any stops or color, just line yourself, please.
Roger, will do.
Hey Jack, what brings you here to Highball?
Nothing much. I'm just not feeling the depot right now. Not enough people. Figured there'd be at least one dispatcher in here.
I think Tyler's coming on duty here in a second.
Love you, Tyler. I don't like lining myself up on the board, especially with these Metrolinks.
And BNSF Dispatcher Desk 113, BNSF 9096 East, over.
9096 East, answer district.
Roger, unless otherwise instructed, you are lit or permitted to light yourself all the way to Jewel, over.
Okay, understand. Self-dispatching all the way to Jewel. Appreciate your help today, dispatcher.
Roger, no problem.
Well, that's a nice looking way car we got there at Boron.
Wait, no one's dispatching?
Tom is dispatching and for a few more minutes, and then Tyler is going to be dispatching somewhere in a few minutes.
Okay. Alright.
Actually, Tyler, that's a good point. If you want to take over on my desk, you're welcome to.
I might hop on San Bernardino again.
Well, you can decide between yourselves if you want to take over my desks within the next 10 minutes. You're welcome to do so.
Tyler, what are you going to do?
He gone.
Well, next thing we'll have to do is look at one of these tracks. Wonder what tracks gotta get pulled. One of
Hey
these.
Tom, were you officially logged off yet, or no?
No, I'm still dispatching, but TSCAD's just become unusable, so I'm letting people do it themselves. I've got a plan for you if you're ready.
That's a Roger. CSX 5456 is ready. Over.
Right, so you're lined, you're lined across BNSF Junction, and then it'll be to Bissell, siding, tie down.
Okay, copy that. We're good all the way to Bizzle. Then we're trying down. Over.
Oh.
User in your channel timed out.
There goes Tyler.
He gone.
Well, looks like Greg's gonna maybe.
Let me ask you guys. I'm on the Foamer difficulty setting. What's the Hogger like?
Changes it to a realistic train handling mode. I think your air works a little more realistically, and the knuckles will break more easily, like they do in real life.
It's like taking the training wheels off.
User entered your channel.
Basically.
Alright, well, I'm gonna try the Hogger one, see how well I do.
Oh, you also get an alerter every, minute in game?
I'm used to that.
Alright.
The big difference I noticed was that you get this timer thing. If you don't input something within 30 seconds or something, you had to press a key.
I'll just hit the alerter in the cab.
That's what I was trying to say.
I timed it once at a slow speed going up Mojave at around 15 miles an hour. It would go off every 2 minutes. I'm not sure if that's the same story for a higher speed.
I wish they would make it so it goes off every, what is it, Justin, 15 seconds?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Okay.
I'd have to look at air brake and train handling again.
Justin, is that what they have it programmed to? Because I know ours, it varies by the speed, and once you get over 50, then it's random.
Yeah, ours are all set the same speed. I'm looking.
That's 202.
I mean, I'm not saying ours haven't gotten messed up over the years.
Well,
I know there was one that I got on there in Beardstown. I dog caught a load down there one time, and the alerter didn't go off once between. So it really was a non-complying engine, but it never went off once between Beardstown and Centralia. And we had the Gizmotron running that day, so there's no reason it shouldn't have been going off.
Did Tyler hop off for the night? I thought he was going to dispatch 15.
No, I'll dispatch 15. Give me a second.
User entered your channel.
There he is.
Oopsies.
Are you dispatching, Tyler?
Yeah.
Where?
San Bernardino and Cajon and 250.
Okay.
Are you doing LA then, David?
No, that's what he's doing.
Oh, that's right. You just said that.
And I could do the LA sub, but I wouldn't have any traffic.
I can send some reroutes your way.
After Tom leaves, is anybody going to be doing Mojave?
I might.
BNSF 7554 looking at a stop indication here at Martinez.
Stand by.
Well, we've simulated a realistic changeover. Everything's grinding to a halt.
Okay, give me about 20 more minutes. We'll get things moving again.
30 minutes for a shift change.
What's up, Greg?
What's up, Tyler?
You dispatching Bakersfield?
Yeah.
Roger. If my CAD wants to open, I could do it. Are you still live streaming, Justin?
I am.
User entered your channel.
Huh.
Although it disappeared for some people, so I just posted a comment on there. Hopefully that cycled it back to the top of the group.
Good evening, gentlemen.
There he is. How you feeling?
I'm alive.
When's the amputation?
Yesterday.
What'd you do?
I rolled my ankle this morning and fell down the stairs, so I'm out of work for a week now on a medical.
Oh.
Yeah.
That Good job.
It happened.
You silly goose.
At least I'm not out with Peronis.
That's right.
Oh, shit. Medication.
Yeah, answering. Yes, 15 answering Hobart.
Metrolink 606, over.
606, good.
Got a 205 in the lead, sitting here waiting for a light Taylor Yard to proceed east and do LAUPT, over.
Alright, stand by just 1 second. Our Metrolink signal addiction. You go to track 2 at LA.
Roger, taking track 2, signal indication, here we go.
It's 15 out, or LA terminal out.
606 out.
DS14 to BNSF 7554 West Tour.
BNSF 7554.
Yeah, maybe stop there for a minute. Got some U traffic ahead of you. I'll get you rolling as soon as I can.
Copy that.
Thank you, 14 up.
Was anyone else about to cover Mojave?
I don't think so.
Alright, I guess I'll jump on board on that one.
Hey Tyler, wrong way.
Which light did you need?
Out of Taylor Yard. Get the next one over.
Alright, give me a second.
Greg, you covering 113?
Is that Barstow?
Or are you doing 250, the UP, that should be.
Yeah, I'm doing all of Mojave and Bakersfield.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still on 113, so if you want it, just let me know.
Alrighty.
And then enough to make a train finally.
That's interesting. So, according to my little fuel gauge on my motor here, from Fresno to Jim Gray, I burned 750 gallons of fuel. And I'm looking at the GPS trace on this engine, on the emulator, the engine that's on the train in the emulator, same type of engine. In real life, the train burned 714 gallons. I'd say that's pretty close for a sim.
Yeah.
Wait, how much you burned in the sim, Justin?
I burned 750 gallons so far in the sim. Jim Gray.
And what was real life?
714.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Pretty close.
Well, yeah.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Where does Metrolink 155 go?
155. Hang on. $155 LA to Ventura, so it goes up towards Santa Barbara, so left out of LAUPT.
Up that coastline, Dub.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What about 900 series?
Some of the 900s are on that same vendor line.
And 213.
Is a Antelope Valley, so Lancaster. It's the same way.
So all three of those go up same way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Metrolink 606, approach medium CP Dayton, mean 2 east out.
Do you know where he goes, Tyler?
Nope. He's going to LA right now.
I'm a 600 series and going to Fullerton and back. Normally I'd go up to Orange County, so but I'm just going to terminate there and head back. That's what I usually do.
Okay. Can you add that tag to your engine?
Yep, I've already got it set on my lead. Once I get in LA Union and I switch head ends, it'll...
Oh, okay. Oh.
So if you right click on his tag in TSCAD, Tyler, and go to change or display tag or whatever, you can actually have it change to the tag that he's displaying instead of his lead engine. Change train information. I forgot exactly what it is.
I figured it out.
Okay.
Didn't realize that.
There's a hotkey. Control S shows the symbol. I think. Yeah.
May I spawn a Surfliner set at Los Angeles to depart in a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
BNSF dispatch at S113 at BNSF 9096 East over.
9096, come in there, dispatcher.
Pause it, Joe, for a Q train going up the hill ahead, over.
Okay, understand. Gonna take a little break at Jewel, gonna see a Q train. Appreciate the heads up.
Roger, thank you. That's 113 out.
Metrolink 606, approach restricting, Mission Junction, mean 2 east out.
Wait, Tom, I thought you logged off from dispatching.
Off 254 and 12. I need to tie up some loose ends on 113.
Okay, I was gonna ask, is it okay if we can instead tie down there at Braun? I want to try to get as far as I can today.
If you wish, however, if someone complains because they want to work Boron or because Barstow's full, I will neglect to lie.
This boron train's gonna be going out soon, so.
Well, could he go up to Hinckley or Jim Gray?
The problem with Hinckley or Jim Gray is that whoever dispatches, I mean, it's just personal preference, but if you put a train in there, you get very long blocks without passing siding.
Oh, that's true.
So I calculated that Silt and Bissell are the best places for long-term storage.
Alright, that's fine. If nothing else, would Edwards be possible or no?
I think we got the same problem. I think there's a local tied down somewhere in the Edwards area. Someone was asking actually to open up at Edwards, so there's a train in there somewhere.
Okay, that's fine. Appreciate the heads up. Thank you, CS60. Good to see that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ant, but I'm sure you can find something else to run if you really want to.
Oh no, it's fine. It's all good. Thank you though.
Metrolink 606, restricting track 2.
Anthony, I'll tell you something we do in real life. If we're going to tie a train down like that, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll tie the train down, cut the motors away, and deadhead the motors on into Barstow for service. So if you really want to go all the way, you can always tie your train down, take the power to Barstow, and then when we need that train, we can shuttle some power out there. That'd be a neat little move for somebody to do later on.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
We do that all the time out of Galesburg.
Oh, thank you for the idea. Appreciate it.
Dispatch 15 answering Hobart radio.
Hey, Amtrak 782. We are ready to go here on track 4. Correction, track 3 at LAUPT.
Alright, stand by. Let me get one out ahead of you and give you that signal.
It's busy over here.
Venus, if you 180, call and dispatch over.
Which one?
It's gonna be the Mineola to Needles.
Yeah, I can pick that up. Yeah, that's 12. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering if we had anything ahead of us over.
You have nothing until. Oh, hold on. Let me give you the right answer here, because this is huge. You have nothing for 25, 100, 160 miles.
Understand the dispatch. Venus at 9180 out.
That's 12 out. Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can do as if you wish. You can do what Justin suggested, and feel free to do your own switches and signals from Bissell eastward out. Over.
Okay, that's fine. We're probably gonna have to also take off our DPU, so we're gonna be doing some runaround moves and stuff like that. But if you're gonna be logging off, then I'll just do that myself.
Keep
Keep your DPU.
yeah. Okay, yeah, do that. I suppose if you could leave one set on, the train will probably get across the road with one set of power on it, and then that way no one will complain if they want to move it later.
Anthony, what you should do, the way we do it, is if there's going to be somebody come out and get it, relatively soon, within a day, we'll leave one motor on it, set it up for lead, pump air, so that the poor guys that come out there and get it don't have to run a Class 1 air brake test on the whole train.
Okay, so you're saying we can just leave one on the front and just steal everything else off it?
Right.
Okay. And then I assume that they would probably have to put more motors on it afterwards, right?
Yeah, they could, but if they need it immediately, the AI can get it to, why can't I think? What's the name of the terminal? No, thank you.
Hey Tom, drop down one.
Stand by, I got your message.
Alright, Roger.
Yeah, we're 10,000 tons here, so.
Yeah, a couple of people have messaged me with suggestions. The problem isn't that we don't want another train running east, it's because Barstow's full at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter how we run the train. You run it with an invisibility cloak, or you could run it with the loco, but it's still got to go somewhere at the other end.
Roger.
Who's down there? Is there someone? Clive is gone, right?
Clive's here.
Clive?
Raising TeamSpeak. Time? Clive's?
What's up? I'm trying to keep awake here.
I was going to say sorry for waking you. Have you got room for another one down there? See, there's one track free, but I know you want to keep one open for runarounds and things.
No, we've got one of those already. No, we can take another train.
Oh, well, there you go. Right, so, Anthony, slow it up.
Pardon, I'm sorry?
No, never mind. Just, keep it going with signal indication. They can take you down a Barstow, so through the siding at Bissell, you shouldn't have a wait.
Oh, so we're going now. Okay, here we go.
Hey Justin, is it prototypical to have the yardmasters fall asleep?
Is that a question?
It probably is, actually.
I don't think that's any different anywhere.
Right. But we sat outside We had a 4-hour trip to Galesburg from Chicago one day, sat outside the yard for 9 hours. Wow. Yeah, we were dead. We physically couldn't move the train anymore.
Because the yardmaster fell asleep?
I have no idea. I would assume so. They didn't answer anybody in that time.
That must have been a nice nap. That must be a really comfy chair they have up there at Galesburg for the yardmaster to sit on.
User
It was
disconnected
a
from your
beautiful
channel.
day, and I was furious that I couldn't go. You know, I could literally see my vehicle from where I was sitting. They wouldn't let us off the train.
Oof.
In case anyone asks, there is a pass bar at Silt, but given that Anthony's running, give him priority into the yard.
Okay.
Metrolink 606, the LA terminal over.
LA Terminal 606, go ahead.
Yeah, terminal, track 2, new liters 4033. It's giving you a heads up, got a departure time of 4:30 today. We'll be making our trip east to Fullerton. We will be stopping at Commerce today, over.
Alright, and what is your, what's your departure time over?
Departure time is going to be 4.
Can you repeat that, please?
4:30.
Alright, you should be seeing a light shortly. Here on signal notification. Yeah, your time comes over.
That's a roger. We'll be waiting for a light. 606 out.
User joined your channel.
Whoa. I know those days. Gotta build a train.
Oh my, now that car in the siding at Bizzle is now called the Great Oil Boom of 2020.
That's great. It's still there.
I guess it's probably just gonna sit there for years, changing names to weird things.
Someone will probably come delete it.
1, 2.
I hope.
I'm just amazed it was still there. It was sitting there. It used to be the Great Potato Famine of 1845.
Yeah.
Great Irish potato famine.
That brings back too many memories from my ancestors. I'm offended.
Tom, do you got a footage on what that is there, Jewel? Between Hut and Jewel, around the horn there through desert.
8370, sir.
Okay, I'll fit in there, plenty of room.
Don't want to do that.
Yup.
Speaking of length, Clive, do you know how long the tracks are in the receiving yard at Barstow?
No, apparently vary. The longest you've got is 7,400 feet.
Alright, so I want to pick up.
Yeah, because we're 7,600 feet, so I wasn't sure.
Do the music, do the music.
No worries, I'll bring you in on 4. We have to put the rest of your train somewhere else.
You're gonna have to do what we do in real life, Anthony. We're gonna have to double that thing over. Come all this way, you gotta do work when you get to the end of the road.
Wow, a road conductor having to do work. Man, they must hate that.
I do hate it.
Anthony, did you spawn that one in?
That's a Roger.
I got you. I was just curious. You got some cars for certain industries that should be loaded that aren't, or emptied that aren't. Just.
I actually copied this off of some other AI train, so this
Did you do like a randomly load after you copied it?
I can't remember actually. It was early this morning.
Oh, hey, Brendan.
Hey.
Can I talk to you in another channel for a second?
Oh no, I guess so.
Alright, thanks.
I'm doing.
No, when Ant runs him, he runs him big.
User left your channel. User left your channel.
Not right, Ant?
I'm sorry?
When Ant runs, he runs him big.
Honestly, yeah, pretty much.
Ain't nothing wrong.
We're pushing it a little bit here, but we'll see.
You set aside a day when you'll give a train more than 3 horsepower per ton.
Huh.
Where is this one? Oh, this is 436.
I've been told by some of them old Santa Fe guys that Super C used to run with like 15 HPT. The Super C, which is the old North Bay 9 back in the 60s, they ran it at 90 plus. It was, I can't remember, I want to say like 50 hours scheduled guaranteed service from the ramp at Corwith to North Bay, California.
Time railroad.
They would literally walk dispatchers off the property if that train met something.
Were those all on the head end?
Oh yeah, back then, yeah. They ran they bought, I can't remember the name of them. They were like U33Cs, but they were built for the Super Chief, and they actually ran them on the Super C because the Super C ran just as fast, if not faster, than the Chief did. They tried it with NYC for a while. It was a joint line haulage code share agreement with them. And the NYC would run it from wherever, I assume New York, all the way to Chicago, and then the Santa Fe would run it all the way to the coast.
Man, if only time travel was a thing.
Oh man, no kidding. And they were Cal units too.
I was born 20 years too late.
Yep, same.
User joined your channel.
Actually, I was born in probably about 35, 40 years. Too late.
Yeah, it's good. Give yourself a bit of padding.
Actually, no, make it 50, because it would be nice to be able to go back when Steam was at its peak and PRR was running these just insanely fast trains.
Up until the late 1990s, Long Island Railroad was running commuter trains on a daily basis, giving orders, and running through block limits every single day.
Holy moly, that's awesome.
That sounds awesome.
That practice, at least
All
on a
right,
portion
now-
of the Montauk branch, lasted until about 2 years ago.
That's it, Anthony. U34CHs. I believe that's what they call
Yes.
the Santa Fe.
Oh, this is an EL job.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Justin. I kind of zoned out for a second.
Those Santa Fe passengers that were like U33s, they were slightly less horsepower, but they were geared for over 100 mile an hour. That they ran on the Super C, U34CH.
I don't know if U34s ran the...
I thought you hated the Fae, Justin.
Oh, I hate it in an undying passion. That's cool.
Actually, Justin, I just looked up. It was called the U30CG.
Okay, very similar then. Okay, they were Cal units.
Yeah, it looked like the P30CH that Amtrak had.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
User entered your channel.
Yeah, the U34s were solely Jersey Transit, Erie, Lackawanna.
Okay, yeah, I was mistaken.
How dare you?
It says here right here they had 66, but it wasn't that good.
Now, what was the speed limit for that 15 HPT train, Justin? Is it 70 like it is now, or was it faster?
No, 90 plus for the day. Run Super C.
Seriously, afraid.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm sure they did. I don't know of any other train that we ever ran that was that fast.
I mean, you gotta look, back in the heyday of Steam, Steam's was running, passenger trains at least at that speed, if not faster.
I suppose we should say, full disclosure, per the rules, I think them old head Steam guys probably ran just as fast as the engine would take them, and they didn't care. But
oh yeah.
I'd have to Google it. One of you guys could Google it, what the actual time schedule was for that Super C.
I'll tell you right now.
I know for the Central, between, I think it was Chicago and Elkhart, the timetable called for at least 90 miles an hour to stay on time.
I know Jim McClellan talks about it in his book quite extensively, actually.
So it was a 40-hour schedule.
40 hours. Holy Lito.
Yep, it was between 1968 and 1976. It was dubbed the world's fastest train. The all TOFC or piggyback or COFC Tainer on flat car train ran about 2,200 miles between Chicago and LA on a 40-hour schedule.
Good night. I know that in Willow Springs Tower to this day, and this kind of makes me feel dirty to talk about this, but in the Willow Springs Tower, there's a great big gold plaque up on the wall, and it says, Santa Fe Railway, Willow Springs Terminal, home of the fastest long-distance continuous intermodal train in the world. It's pretty cool.
What speeds did they run? Didn't NS and Amtrak do a trial intermodal on the NEC a couple of years ago?
I think that was limited 50 because
what
to
do I
this day
do?
the fastest you can run anything on the
Hey.
corridor is 50 miles an hour free.
Ugh.
Wow.
There would be a flash flood warning if Santa Fe boys went out there.
No, I don't know why. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. How the corridor would be only 50 for freights? Because, I mean, if they're allowing like 135 for passenger, how come it's only 50 for freight? How come they can't do like 70 on there?
Because an Amfleet car has 16 brake cylinders per car, and a Acela coach has 20 brake cylinders per car, and a freight car has 1 brake cylinder per car. It also has to do with the signal spacing. So with the signal spacing, the blocks are a lot shorter. So when we get a signal drop, we can get a train down from 125 to 20 pretty quickly. A freight train, especially as the length gets longer and longer, is going to take a lot longer to get down to speed from track speeds.
That's the way it is up on the East End for us, because freight's only 45 on the Chicago side. The Dinkies will go by you at 79, and the signals are only half mile apart. Super short blocks.
Yeah, on the High Line we have traffic cut out. I mean, yeah, on the High Line are 1,500 feet long between New York and Newark.
Okay, that makes sense. The approach meeting.
Approach medium. Are you on railroad.net with the same username?
God, you found me out.
No, the only reason I ask is because I was on that years ago, and you had an avatar with a signal of an approach medium in it.
Yeah, I had it on there, and Photo Bucket started charging money to share photos.
Okay, I made that image.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some probably a cold beverage or a mini beverage to bring home.
Hey man,
Fifth engine.
What's for dinner tonight, Jay?
Oh, I don't know, something unhealthy. Fast food. That's about the only thing open here in Galesburg.
Sounds like a plan. We're doing fried chicken.
Oh Lord, that sounded.
David.
Well, all the states around us are open for business, but us. I don't know.
User left your
All right.
channel.
See you later.
David, do you know why this cat keeps freezing?
I don't.
Operator error.
Never had this problem until now.
I don't know. How's it freezing?
Metrolink 606, approach track 2.
It's just... I try to line something, or I flip a switch. I click the switch instead of lining a route. a message. Invalid request TSCAD. A white box pops up that says that, and then it says TSCAD unknown route or something, and then my game just freezes. And this message has been up like 50,000 times. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen.
And I can't log out of Dispatcher, and I don't just want to exit out of it.
Never had that problem.
Actually, I can't even exit out of it, never mind.
I've got an open request. Can I stick a caboose on the back of somebody's train? And just
I'm about
watch
to
it?
be leaving in a minute. Stick it on the back of mine.
You're from UK then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some food like Justin, but I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes.
Joseph Ricardo, where
User
are you?
disconnected from your channel.
I'm at Barstow now. We're sticking on one of the open tracks. I'm not ready to go quite yet.
Okay, so the LA terminal keeps freezing in my game.
Interesting. That sucks.
Maybe you need to set all the signals on the LA terminal to red and then try again.
Metrolink 606 to terminal over.
Metrolink 606, send on Nixon.
So Roger, here we go.
Yeah, as soon as I open LA terminal, it freezes up again.
Two 606, divergent clear mission junction.
I don't run commuter service on LA very often. This is quite fun.
This is pretty much all I do. I can't stand sitting behind the freight train and looking at nothing for hours, you know.
Right.
It builds character.
I guess you're right.
You're not a Metrolink engineer by trade, are you?
That's a negative.
Oh, okay.
I live in Boston, though. I'll be working for the T this year. Commuter rail.
Oh, nice.
Good luck.
Thank you.
A good friend of mine worked for commuter rails on the north side for the longest time. He hated it.
Was it the T?
Yeah, the north side of BTX.
Oh, Keolis North.
Yeah.
I assume he doesn't. You said he did. Is he not working there anymore?
No, he went to Montana Railing.
Wow.
That's different.
Yeah.
Amtrak 782 to the BNSF San Bernardino dispatcher.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to report a trespasser. It's at Valley View.
Trespasser at Valley View. Do you have a description?
Yeah, he's probably about 6 feet tall, wearing a yellow hard hat, orange safety vest, had a radio and a broken right arm.
It's an ankle.
Is he perhaps a worker?
It looked like a foamer to me.
Alright, Major Foamer. I'll get that reported.
Oh, here he is again. He has a broken right arm with a, or I'm sorry, broken left arm with a radio inside.
Okay, so he's a tremendous foamer.
Oh, let's go. Let's use a more politically correct term. A friend of the flange.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, that means
That's
a very
not a good
different
one
thing
for
over
me.
here.
But I understand it.
Alright, I'll send somebody there.
Roger, thank you.
San Bernardino out. Psych, I ain't sending anybody out there.
I guess I'm not getting on.
We don't stop at Metrolink. I'm not a Metrolink train. The Metrolink train's 20 minutes behind me.
I'm gonna report you.
If you want to get on at Fullerton. We're going back to Los Angeles.
Oh, David, you're operating?
Yes.
Oh.
That's
Shocker.